Happy Thursday evening, everybody, and welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Glad you're with us. The NC811 Limited Series here on Turn 1, the OGs of the limited format. Here at Hot Atlanta tonight, we're going Super Speedway Racing, and we've got a lot to cover. A full field here tonight. Let's take a look at the starting grid. Brian Wortman, Joey Gentina is going to start on row number 1. Brian bringing home the pole here tonight. A strong start to the evening for the 74. Shannon Wood, Rick Kennedy, Dalton Allen, your top 5. Then it's Vincent Shore, Bobby Wetzel, Glenn Campbell, Stephen Luttrell, Zach Stronsky, your top 10 drivers getting ready to roll off the grid here tonight at Atlanta. Richard Swavely is going to start 11th. Doug Sigmund, Robert Barber is going to start 13th. 14th is Stoney Benfield, Mike Montesi 15th. Dustin Durr, Ryan Haddock, Scott Formosa, John Fowler, Joe Hudson, the top 20 here. Kevin Stoll's going to start 21st. Dalton Bernius is going to start 22nd. Cody DeForge, we've not heard that name in a hot minute. He's going to start 23rd. DeAndre Kane, Paul Tyler, Michael Saylor, Ron Holyfield, Tyler McGee, Joseph Grijalva showing up on a Thursday night. Going to start at 29th, Alex Grog, James Smith, Trevor Martin, Mark Schrader, and Gerald Livingston round out this 34-car field as these drivers get ready to roll off pit road here tonight at Atlanta. Again, glad you're with us. If it's your first night here, thanks so much for tuning in to Turn 1. Make sure you do me a favor. Wherever you're watching, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, go up, like the stream if you haven't already done so. It's free to do. And if you're over on Facebook or YouTube and Twitch, really anywhere, please consider following, okay, or subscribing on the YouTube side. We would greatly appreciate the support. As I tell you what, I've been having some conversations, and we've got a lot of racing action coming up for you here. The weeks, months, and really looking at the year at this point. It's going to be a great time here on Turn 1. You're not going to want to miss a lap of it. Got a bunch of folks in the chat. Vince Short fans, turn it up. They're here early and often in chat. Shannon's got some fans over on YouTube tonight. A lot of folks in the house. Thanks so much for being here. So, let's do this thing. Super Speedway Racing, the NC811 Limited Series style. Brian Wortman, Joey Gentina on the front row. They're going to see the green flag wave. We're racing at EchoPark. Down the backstretch for the first time here tonight, side by side. A lot of this action tonight you're going to see 2 by 2. I was watching practice earlier. A lot of these guys are working on their run technique. How can they manage these ARCA cars as they complete lap 1, and where at on the racing surface you need to be. Joey Gentina is going to lead that first lap as he wrapped that outside line. These laps are also going to happen fairly quickly here tonight. As we start to see that top 3 get single filed out. We got cars going around, a big one already. Several cars. That is half the field tangled up here. This all started with somebody going low on the apron. A colossal wreck here. Coming to lap 2. Let's take a look. Pay close attention to that bottom line. Oh, yeah, that's the 5 car. Coming down there. Wasn't quite clear, and just a massive wreck. With everybody else there, I believe that was the 5. We'll take Bobby Wetzel's look at this one more time here. Oh, pitch 3 wide. Oh, that was not the 5. That was the 9 of Wetzel. And then just nowhere to go with the track completely blocked up here. So Dalton Allen, Bobby Wetzel involved, Cody DeForge, Stoney Benfield, Dalton Allen, Ron Holyfield, Joe Hudson, Alex Grog, Gerald Livingston involved, Richard Swavely, Trevor Martin, John Fowler, Ron Holyfield, I already mentioned him, yeah. A massive wreck here. It's going to bring the first caution out tonight, and that is going to put some damper on things as we're going to see some of these drivers have to come down pit road and get some repairs taken care of at some point. There they go. Everybody heading, or some of those drivers heading down pit road to the attention of their crew. Let's take a look here at the point situation as they come in tonight into this race. Scott Formosa was out front by 9 points. Well, he is down pit road right now, tending to some damage. Shannon Wood was right behind there. Scott Formosa again down 9. Bobby Wetzel down 19. This could be a big impact to Bobby Wetzel's championship battle right now through the season. Richard Swavely and Robert Barber, that top 5 group. Pretty tight championship battle there with the first 5 as we come in tonight here at Atlanta. And Atlanta, this is not a typical restrictor plate racetrack. It is It is difficult to get around here. I don't think there's any secret. It takes a lot of talent to get around here. You've got to manage the run, manage the car, and you saw it right there. It's easy to get tangled up in a hurry. And we've got the first caution of the night out. Hey, Black Cat Racing over on Twitch. Thanks so much for being here tonight and following on the old Twitch later. And again, I know we've got a bunch of folks over on the YouTube side here, turned up, turned out. And let me know, who do you got winning this race here tonight? I know we've got those Vince Shore fans in the chat. I do also believe I saw some. I also saw some Shade of Wood fans. Yeah, I sure did. So we'd like to know, who else do you think's got this win in the bag here tonight? It's a super speedway race, an equalizer opportunity. It'd get really interesting down the stretch here, especially with this early caution. Everybody got it out of their system early. We'll find out. After tonight, we take a week off. So next week, no Thursday night action here on Turn 1. Then we return for race number 10, September 10th at Michigan. And this season, that'll be at the halfway point right there coming out of Michigan. And then we will run all the way to November 19th. Right here on Turn 1 with this NC811 Limited Series group. Those strobe lights on top of that Ford Mustang pace car are out, and we're getting ready to get back green flag racing here in Atlanta. Joey Jatina gonna keep the lead here. Rick Kennedy's gonna start on the inside of row 1 with Jatina taking that bottom line. Brian Wortman, Vince Short, Glenn Campbell, your top 5. Joseph Grijalva in those lap and a half in that 22 car, already up 22 spots on the night, sitting back there in 8th place. What a monster of a driver. Pace car is going to head down pit road. This field's going to be tightened up. Joey Jatina's into the restart zone. The green flag back out live here on a Thursday night. Jatina gets single filed out. Rick Kennedy's going to pick him up. And they're going to be bumper to bumper coming down the backstretch. You see Grijalva back in, hitting to the bottom really quick there. That's going to leave that 74. Brian Wortman on the outside line, but here comes the 31. Alex Strong with the push to get that outside line bottled up. And our top 4 single file here as they come across the stripe. Let's talk about some of these drivers who had to come get some repairs and come down pit road. They're all scattered out back here. Everybody trying to maintain some speed here. There's enough cars damaged that you can't really park it here, especially if you've got a car that can run half decent. You've got to get out here and see what you can do. It can be a really bad points night if you were to retire right now. Meanwhile, back out front, Joey Jatina continues to lead. That 31 car now leading that outside line. Brian Wortman tucks in on the inside, coming into 1. If Joey wins, you should buy the folks in chat margaritas or bushwhackers. Hey, sign me up. I will gladly send the 14 car an invoice after this if he can bring it home here tonight. Our top 4. Our top 3 hanging on, and that outside line was the preferred place on that restart, but now doesn't seem like anybody can really get up there and challenge quite alongside the 14. Alex Grog leading that outside line with that opening right there on the bottom. I wouldn't be surprised to see him duck down. Steve Luttrell back here as well. Up 2 spots. Dustin Durr is sitting up there in 6th. He's up 10 places so far. He's taking advantage of the early drama here at the racetrack. It's getting tight, that outside line. Getting tight to the inside, trying to catch a little bit of that side draft. Shannon Wood losing a little bit of time to that inside line. That's going to check up them a little bit. We saw the 13 nearly get 3, or 31 rather, nearly get 3 wide, but now here comes the Shannon Wood run. Setting it up really through the bottom of the quarter there. Driving forward in that 2 car, Shannon Wood. Chatina still maintaining the point right now. Then that 14 car working lap number 12. We should see pit stop cycled out through here probably around lap 40 or so. This super speedway format at Atlanta is going to give them a little bit of extra fuel mileage, plus those caution laps early helped. But we still got a little ways to go before we need to start worrying about that. Meanwhile, looking back here a little bit further, so this is James Smith, Robert Barber, Scott Formosa, that 80 car. I know we've got some 80 fans in the chat now. He is sitting 15th at the moment, tangled up in an early caution. Hanging out here, still in the draft, though, and that is going to be important to maintain. You never know what could happen at these super speedway format type races, and he's hanging in there right now in the top 15. Just as I was about to count that outside line out, the 31 of Alex Grog has got something figured out. Drago there on the outside, trying to make something happen here on the outside of Steve Luttrell. Using a little bit of that side draft. He actually separated himself ever so slightly from that outside line. Now falling back here to the number 16 of Zach Stronsky. Working down the backstretch here. Let's actually take it right. Let's ride on board with somebody. Let's do it with Zach Stronsky. He's sitting just now 1 car back on that outside line. Let's take a lap here around Atlanta in the 16. There in front of the 16, you see that, oh, the 31's going to squeeze down. We got cars making contact. That was, who was that coming down sideways on the front stretch? I believe that was DeAndre Kane. No caution. We stay green. Let's take a look. Oh, no, that was not that incident. I'm not quite sure who that was there that got tangled up on the outside. Either way, we stay green. That outside line all but dissolved now. Stronsky leading the charge out there. He's got the 32. I believe that's the 32. Let me take a look at that car one more time. That is the 32, and I believe that is Richard Swingley. It is. He is a lap down after having to come down pit road. Robert Barber hitting pit road. So will Bobby Wetzel. I think it was those two that got together on the front stretch last time by. Joey Tatina out front. Rick Kennedy sitting second. Vincent Short now up to third. Steve Luttrell, Shannon Wood, Zach Stronsky, Alex Grog, Dustin Durst, Scott Formosa, Brian Wortman, your top 10 here. As the NC811 Limited Series under the lights at Atlanta here on turn 1. Taking a look back here at the 22, that is Joseph Grijalva. He's fallen back to 13th. I don't think there's anything wrong with Joseph. He just knows that this is going to get a lot more rowdy than it is right now, and he wants to stay out of the drama and keep the nose clean on the car. Outside line starting to come back to fruition ever so slightly, but they're going to have to navigate through some lap traffic. This is going to get tight. Stronsky's going to squeeze by. Swavely's going to do it as well. Scott Formosa free and clear as he's working himself back into the top 10. But this top 5 group has been glued together here since the restart, essentially. That happened back on lap 5. And already working lap number 22. Let's take a look here so far at the biggest gainers of the night. And keep in mind, a lot of this has to do with that drama early. That's Alex Grog. He's up 23 spots. Trevor Martin at the moment sitting up 18, running 14th. James Smith up 18. Joseph Grijalva up 17. Mark Schrader having a good night. He's up 17 as well, back out running in the 16th place position. Joey Jatina on the point here, and all of a sudden now 6 drivers starting to pull away from Alex Grog. The 7 of Dustin Dirt, Stoney Benfield, Scott Formosa, Glenn Campbell back here in this mix. I mentioned whenever that wreck happened, or right as we were getting ready to get that green flag here in Atlanta, that these drivers, they got that big wreck out of the way early. Now it's time for everybody to settle in. It's, hey, that we can't do that. We need to get it pulled together as we see a couple cars in the wall. That was Alex Grog, and I do believe that was the 32 of Swavely up there with him as well. Able to following the leader through, following the 31 through there. Meanwhile, here comes a big run on that outside all of a sudden. But they've got that bigger wreck out of the way, and these drivers need to settle in. It's a long way to go. You've got to have a car that you can actually run at a really race pace to be able to win this thing. And obviously, if you're tangled up in drama on lap 4, that's just not going to work out in your favor. These cars right here are all part of that group that got tangled up with it. That is Mark Schrader. You see Cody DeForge there in the 24 car. Michael Saylor right now in the 38 is running 18th. Ryan Haddock, Paul Tyler is in this mix. Ron Holyfield and that Napa machine making up 21st position there in that second pairing of cars as Joey leads them across the stripe. This front group has been all over each other here tonight and held together pretty strongly, but all of a sudden, not only is that outside line still nagging at the door side of Shannon Wood, but these drivers back here that were hanging back, the Joseph Grijalvas of the world, even the Brian Workmans, they are actually caught back up with this lead pack group. Outside line again, just stalling out ever so slightly. These runs are really sensitive, like I mentioned here in Atlanta. You've got to have pretty much a perfect pedal to be able to hang on to it here on the outside. Use a little bit of door draft and manage to your favor, but right now nobody's been able to do it. Let's actually do this. I know we've got some Scott Formosa fans in the chat. Let's take a lap here around with Scott Formosa as he works that traffic on the outside. Formosa touching that red-white line down there on the apron, and you hear him lifting out of the throttle ever so slightly, trying to manage the run and keep the tires underneath it here. Atlanta's one of those racetracks. Now, these tires actually may matter a little bit in terms of grip. You don't necessarily see that at Daytona or Talladega. And here, you want to maintain the grip, be able to hang on to the draft, be able to hang on those around you. You got to take it easy on those tires right now. Scott Formosa doing a pretty bang up job doing just that here, working lap number 30. We've got some drivers about to go a lap or more down here. That'll pretty much eliminate whatever outside line would materialize. Can't really make any passes. Wow, we just saw 22 way up into the wall. Revolva falling or losing a little bit of time. He's going to settle back into that 11th place spot. Got a little high down there in 3 and 4. So far, so good. This lead lap traffic working around those lap cars as we weave down the backstretch. Those lap cars actually going to spread the field out just ever so slightly. You see those 1-2 car gaps there between Steve Luttrell, Shannon Wood, and others. Everybody splitting out. Oh, this is pit stops. I didn't know what I was seeing right there. But everybody, almost everybody on the lead lap is going to come down pit road. Green flag. Pit stops led by Joey Jatina. Meanwhile, Zach Stronsky, unfortunately, is going to stay out here. And he's going to look down pit road. Get to the apron quick here as pit stops underway for the first time here tonight under green flag conditions on turn 1. Pretty much everybody on the racetrack coming down pit road. There's Michael Saylor and co coming down. Meanwhile, Joey Jatina leads this group off. All of a sudden, everybody got the memo, came down pit road. Got plenty of... oh, wow. We've got some Trevor Martin fans on the YouTube here tonight. Cheering on their driver. Joey Jatina is going to recycle back out the lead after one of the most choreographed set of green flag pit stops at the super speedway I've ever seen. You're going to see it right there. Chatina's going to retake the lead coming out of the corner. Stephen Luttrell's going to pick up P2. Shannon Wood about 4 car lengths off. Then Zach Stronsky came out 4th in this somehow after even staying out a lap. Wow, an impressive pit stop for Stronsky. But then everybody else gets scattered out here, and this group back here, Stony Benfield, Dustin Durr, Joseph Grijalva, Scott Formosa, Alex Grog, they are some 6+ seconds off our leader. Shannon Wood should have no problem getting caught back up to the bumper there of the 36. But Stronsky is going to be in some trouble. He's going to actually lose some time here. He's lost that draft off the bumper of Shannon Wood. And now he's going to get caught up by Rick Kennedy at some point here soon. And then Stony Benfield and the rest of this crew is Joseph Grijalva, Formosa. That is the 32 of Richard Swavely. He came down pit road. He is a lap down. Alex Grog, Trevor Martin in that mix as well. They're going to eventually catch up to the bumper there of Rick Kennedy and Zach Stronsky. Meanwhile, we go back up front here. Shannon Woods hanging on about 5 car lengths off the bumper here. Joey Jatina continues to lead, now looking to the inside. That was Cody DeForge. Cody, through that cycle, he came down pit road with everybody else, and Unfortunately, ended up a lap down, but now he's going to suck in right here behind the 2 and, you know, is hopefully going to be able to take advantage of that draft hang out here. Maybe catch a lucky dog scenario for the 24 of Cody DeForge. Zach Stronsky, we talked about how he was going to get caught by Rick Kennedy and Grijalva in that group. Well, it's happened. And they've got about a 6.5 second gap to run down to the 24. I'm sorry, to the 14 rather. As Joey Jatina works coming out of 2 here. Yep, coming out of 2. Let's in on the other side of the coin, Zach Stronsky. They're just coming out of 2 right now. So about a straightaway and a half separate this group. It's going to take them getting fairly organized to get caught up with that 4-car group now that includes the 14, the 36, the 2, and the 16. Oh, I'm sorry, not the 16, the 24 rather. Come on, Sandwood, hammer down. Listen, he's doing all right. He's good right there, running third at the moment. And he's not got a whole lot of pressure around him. This is exactly where you want to be at this point of the race here at Atlanta, I would say. Taking a look here. Dale, I'm going to take it. Just an educated or some type of guess. The 85 is who you're cheering on there. Is that right? Unfortunately, he is showing parked in the pits. We have a pretty big incident here on lap 2. Looks like he's been down pit road here for a little bit, trying to get that car squared away. El Paso is watching. I knew I would see at least some of my friends from Ernie's Bar and Grill, El Paso, Texas. Joseph's having a good night so far. He's up into 7th. He's in this mix of cars that are a little behind the leaders at the moment after green flag pit stops, but he is in prime position. We've seen him be really quick. He gained up a lot of spots, and even the first 2 laps of the race already got up into the top 10 after a not so great qualifying effort. If he qualified at all, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure. And right now, hanging out there at the moment, running 7th. So we talked about Cody DeForge catching a ride here with this group and trying to hang on. Well, so did Paul Tyler. He is a lap down, and he's actually racing Cody DeForge for position. So he is caught on to this lead pack that now is going to make this a 5-car train of drivers that have really pulled away from Zach Stronsky and co. And while Zach Stronsky and co have made up about a second, right now they are sitting over 6 seconds back at the moment, and Stronsky's actually going to go high. Kennedy is going to drive underneath him. Oh, Stronsky making wall contact. Here comes the 32, a Swavely a lap down. There is Joseph Grijalva in this mix, and they're all going to drive around. I don't know what happened to the 16 car, but he's going to give up that front point, that point position. Maybe an opportunity to open up some more speed out of this group so they can run down the leader. As we work lap number 46. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Welcome to Turn 1. I'm Sean Fitz. Glad you're with us here. Working lap number 47 of 85. Joey Jatina out front. We've only had 1 caution, and we've only had 2 lead changes, and that's due to some green flag pit stops. It has been a great night of racing action so far here at EchoPark. These guys have been putting on a show. And I'm glad you're with me on a Thursday night. I tell you what, we've got some strong numbers here tonight in the stream. If you would not mind, do me a big favor. If you don't do anything else, if you don't use chat or if you don't say hello, whatever it may be, again, please do me a favor. Like the stream if you have it on YouTube or Facebook. follow or subscribe or join if you don't mind. It's free to do. The support would go a really long way here on turn one. Jatina continues to hold the lead. Stephen Luttrell, Shannon Wood, Rick Kennedy, your top four. And then this group back here starting to run into that gap that Joey Jatina and this lead pack has built. But it's only about a tenth every 3 or 4 laps. They're going to run out of time before it's all said and done at that pace. We will also see these drivers have to make pit stops in about 15 laps. Remember, green flag pit stops happened back there, lap number 33. They're going to have to come back down pit road one more time before this is all said and done. There's no way you're going to save enough fuel. There's no way that you're going to be in a position where you could stay out on track. You're going to have to come down pit road. Everybody knows that. And that's this story will continue to evolve, because that's where the incidents, that's where the make or break can happen, is right there on pit road in this super speedway racing. Joey Jatina continues to lead here. Stephen Luttrell, Shannon Wood, your top three. Watching this front group, let's ride on board with Stephen Luttrell. He's been in that second place position for quite a while here tonight. Let's take a lap around Atlanta with him. Riding on board there, we see these cars really starting to loosen up here as they get longer in this green flag run. It's been about 20-25 laps since we've seen them come down pit road, and actually it's been 30 on the nose right there. And the fuel load is light. The car is probably a little free, but they're tight in the front. And they're losing that grip those newer tires gave them for so long, as this front pack continues to grow ever so slightly. I believe that's John Fowler now. That is jumped on the bandwagon with these guys, and he is riding right now in 26th. We were talking about earlier that 85 car. Dalton Burney, as well as Brian Workman, makes contact with the wall. He is back out on track, running 25th at the moment. But as this lead group continues to grow in size, that means the arrow they're going to punch through the hole, that is going to continue to get bigger and bigger, and they're going to get faster and faster. And this group back here, being led by Rick Kennedy, is going to continue to lose, or at least not gain as much time. But I'm here to tell you, that group has narrowed that gap now down to 4 seconds. 4 seconds separate the first and second groups, with pit stops closing in on this field. We should see them down pit road in less than 10 laps. Get that foot down, Wood. Move on up. Yeah. All the Dirty Monkey group up front here. Yeah, this is the Dirty Monkey gang for sure. Hanging on up here, riding around. Let's take a look here. I want to just look off the bumper. How's this looking for Rick Kennedy? Can he see that lead pack? Yeah, he sure can. That gap is continuing to close. Down now to 3.9 seconds. For that second pack, this is going to get interesting. They are going to catch them we take the pit stop out of the equation, they very well could get there in the next 10, 15 laps or so. But as I mentioned, pit stops are going to be coming. They will have to come down. Everybody's going to have to come down one more time. And this restrictor plate type racing requires you to really put on you've got to have folks with you. You've got to have teammates. You've got to have partners. You got to build alliances. Sometimes even during the race, you've got to build those partnerships and get folks to come tag along with you so that you don't lose the draft. And I imagine a lot of these guys are making those call outs now of, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, X, Y, Z. And, well, you're seeing it here start to come to fruition as we're, 28 laps past the pit stop, so we should see him come down here, like I said, in the next 5 to 8 laps. Oh, we got cars down on the apron. That was, we're going to have a caution, and that was Rick Kennedy. He got out of shape coming out of 2, tried to save it, and makes hard contact, I believe. I'm not quite sure who that was. Oh, just right in front of the 23 of Joe Hudson. Hudson had nowhere to go, did not see that coming from a mile away. And that is unfortunately going to bring the caution out here on lap number 61. All that drama, all of those green flag pit stop talks, out the window. This whole field just got caught back up, and they're all going to come down pit road. We're going to step aside here for just a minute, and we'll come back and recap the running order. You're watching Turn 1 on a Thursday night. Well, we said we were going to have some excitement tonight, and we have certainly gotten it. 2 drivers out front decided not to come down pit road. And I know Their fans are watching on turn 1 right now. Joseph Grijalva, Vincent Short, gonna restart on the front row. They did not come down pit road. Yeah, I will see if they maybe there's a fuel call here that I can't calculate in my 3 brain cells that I have left from this week. But they're going to be out front. Joey Jettina, Alex Grog, Stephen Luttrell, Shannon Wood, your top 6. All that drama, all of that 2-pack conversation out the window. 16 cars on the lead lap. Grijalva takes them to the restart zone. Green flag back out here in Atlanta. All the give and take, all the patience and the single file, I think in this race is completely out the window with 22 to go out of these drivers. Short on the outside. Took what I would consider the preferred line on a restart there. It had the preferred line, and there you have it. Vincent Short's going to move down off the bumper of the 22. New leader is the 15 car, Vincent Short. Grijalva settled into P2, but he's got Alex Grog into 31, the man with the plan on the outside. All night tonight, I feel like he has been out there trying to make it work. He's got Shannon Wood, Scott Formosa with the push. They have got some help. Big run happening on the outside. Here comes Alex Grog to the front. Grog is going to lead that lap. He's going to get clear. Shannon Wood cannot go with him. Oh, he's going to. He's going to tuck in. Shannon Wood is going to pick up that second place. Scott Formosa tried to get up there and do the same. Oh, everybody gets a little funky here as they get to the corner. Somebody got checked up. That's Cody DeForge in the middle of 3 wide. They hang on to it as we go back out front. Alex Grog leads the bottom. Formosa now has got the 14 and the most laps led leader off the bumper there as they start to move forward. Here comes the 27 of Ron Holyfield on that Napa paint scheme on that car. The outside line starting to pull it together. Vincent Short, he comes down pit road. Interesting call for Short there, and Shannon Wood. All that disruption on the bottom is going to get Shannon Wood to the lead. Meanwhile, as that was happening, Joey Jettina made it 3 wide there on the 31 and the 80, and he's going to move up to second. We'll see Jettina be quick. Lead a ton of laps here early now as Grijalva's going to come down pit road. Remember, they did not pit. That number was not close for them. It's now that outside. We're starting to see them runs, how they're going to materialize. The 14's got one. He's back to the point. Scott Formosa trying to get his run up there and get clear. Stephen Luttrell's on the way as well. Formosa's going to slot down in front of the 2. Working off the corner, Joey Jettina hanging on to that top spot, but here comes Stephen Luttrell on the outside. He's got some help with the 32. That's Richard Swavely. We've got cars into the wall. They're going to be spinning back here. It's going to break the caution out. Looking for it there, trying to get there. Yeah, all right, well, we lost it. This include Ryan Haddock, Trevor Martin, and others. They were all loaded up and nowhere to go. Oh, that's John Fowler in the mix. Ryan Haddock, I believe Dalton Allen was involved in that. He was. Joseph Grijalva. This is actually a huge break for Joseph Grijalva and Vincent Short. They were just down pit road under those green flag conditions. This may save their race. And another caution out right now, working lap number 71. We're going to step aside here for just a minute. I know we've got some We've got some 21 fans in the chat. We've got Shannon Wood guys in the chat. Shannon Wood's got, I think, I don't know, guys. I'm just saying, Shannon Wood has got a ton of people here tonight. I hope, you know, we need these other guys to show up here. Shannon Wood's got half the chat. Anyway, all right, we're going to step aside as pit stops are going to take place for a couple of these drivers. Mark Schrader and others. Zach Stronsky is in his box as well. We'll follow up. What does this look like for Grijalva, Vincent Short, and the rest of this group? We'll find out. We're going to step aside. You're watching Turn 1. I hope you're buckled in. It's going to be a mad dash to the end of this race here as they get ready to go back green flag racing. It's Stephen Luttrell, Joey Jatina out front, the 7 of Dustin Durr, Scott Formosa, Michael Saylor, your top 5. Shannon Wood, Alex Grogg, Ron Holyfield, James Smith, and Glenn Campbell make up the top 10 positions here as they get ready to go back green flag racing. It'll be about 12 laps to go. And tonight's NC811 Limited Series live action here on a Thursday night on Turn 1. If you're new to the channel, hello, thank you for being here. I'm Sean Fitz. I get the great privilege to call these races for Sim 500 a couple nights a week. And you're about to see why I enjoy doing it so much. Stephen Luttrell, Joey Jatina out front, into the restart zone. We're back green at EchoPark. Luttrell getting a great restart here. Joey Jatina on the outside is going to collect the 80 of Formosa. They're going to be tied on the bumper. That bottom line's going to have some gaps in it. That's going to slow them down. Meanwhile, that outside line starting with a big push. Jatina weaving and bobbing, trying to keep the 80 glued to the bumper. You see Shannon Wood back there in this mix as well. That bottom line hanging on. Remember, that 32 car of, that 32 car, I am still pretty certain he is not on the lead lap at this rate. As out front, Joey Jatina is going to try to take the lead again from that top spot, that outside line. Not quite clear as they come off a 4. Now he's going to be there. Back to the lead. The 14 car goes with 10 laps to go. Side by side down the backstretch. Luttrell refusing to give it up. That 32 car. The Rick Swavely with the shove. I'm sorry, that is... Oh, we've got a big wreck back here. Where was that? And that's going to be the caution out. That, it looks like that included Bobby Wetzel. He cannot find a whole lot of luck here tonight. Happening right in front of Grijalva as well. Grijalva's going to slide by. That was the 95. That's the 9 as well. That's going to bring the caution out here. And you know what? He's been running the wrong number. I've been calling the 7, that Richard Swavely. So that is not Richard Swavely. That's the 7 of Dustin Durr. That is a misnumbered car, so I apologize about that. Dustin right now running third as we're under caution here with under 10 laps to go. At EchoPark, Stephen Luttrell scored your leader. I don't suspect we will see anybody come down pit road here during this cycle, but maybe it looks like Vincent Short actually would be the lucky dog. We'll see if that plays through. If so, that'd get him back on the lead lap after his green flag pit stops. Let's take a look here at the schedule. As I mentioned this week, or I'm sorry, this coming up week, the Labor Day weekend. Sim 500 is going to be taking the week off. And then the week after, we head to Michigan. After that, forgive me, we leave Michigan, then we go to Iowa, Indianapolis, and then Darlington. Las Vegas in a couple weeks. That schedule's just heating up here on with this Turn 1 group, or with this Sim 500 group. Let's take a look here at the Jalou KC Select Cup Series. They run on Sunday nights. If you're new to the channel, you certainly want to get tuned into there. Let's take a look at the schedule. That season's actually starting to wind down. We're going to head to Daytona on Sunday night for some Super Speedway action. Then they're off for the Labor Day weekend. And then 3 races remain before we lock 14 drivers into the championship. You can find all that racing action in the Jalou KC Select Series right here on Turn 1, Sunday night, 9 p.m. across all of our Turn 1 social media platforms. Brian Workman's going to hit pit road. It doesn't look like Vincent Short was credited with the lucky dog. Not quite sure exactly who that was. Either way, the pace car lights are off, and we're going to have a sprint to the end of this thing. They're going to go back green flag racing with about 7 to go. And actually, it's going to be less than that. It's going to be 6 to go. Stephen Luttrell, Joey Chatina, the 7 of Durr, Scott Formosa, Michael Saylor, Shannon Wood, Alex Grog, Ron Holyfield, James Smith, Glenn Campbell, your top 10. Joey Chatina has led the most laps here tonight. And he would love to finish on that in victory lane, but I tell you what, you've got a long way to go in those 6 laps. Hey, thanks so much for that. I appreciate it. These calling these races is some of the, I mean, it's what I do, right? I do this 4 or 5 nights a week, and honestly, I wouldn't be doing it without folks like yourself watching, so I appreciate the support. Thank you for being here. We got some Stephen Luttrell fans starting to show up in the chat as well. Your boy's about to have his second restart of the night. He's going to head into the restart zone. Needs to execute well here. Fire off. All the way down here to the tri-oval. Green flag back out. Jatina tried to hang on to the side, couldn't do it. Steven Luttrell sees the green flag, 6 to go. He got a great jump out front, but can he hang on to it? He's going to move down. The 14 is going to move up. Try to take the lane. He's not going. Joey Jatina on the outside. He's got some help from the 7 of Durr. Out front, Jatina retakes the lead. 5 to go here at EchoPark. James Durr sitting second. Scott Formosa, after being caught up in that drama on lap 2, running third at the moment. Shannon Wood, he has been up here all night long, running in this top 5, sitting in 4th. Alex Grog also up here running. That outside man with a plan is still sitting in the outside, hanging on as they come across the stripe. 4 to go. We talked about it earlier, how dominant this outside line can be with everybody lined up. This is exactly what I meant, is that inside line just cannot keep the momentum in comparison. Joey Jatina leads them around up in that 3rd lane. He's nearly got 5 cars clear. Coming across the stripe, 3 to go right here for the 14. If you are not a stranger to Super Speedway racing, you probably know you don't want to be in that position the 14's in right now. You do not want to be at the point. But here comes Steven Luttrell, and he's got a freight train of a run off the bumper. That's Michael Saylor on the push. You see Ron Holyfield coming into the mix. He's going to have to go down and block the bottom line. 2 to go. Joey Jatina out front. Parks it on the nose of the 36. That leaves that outside line vulnerable for a little bit. They're going to lose some spots. He had to come down and block the run. We've got cars piled up on the backstretch. That's Ron Holyfield, Scott Formosa, the 7 of Durr, the 95 involved. And we're going to go to NASCAR overtime. Big wreck down the backstretch. Happening right there around that 5th place spot. Let's take a look. Oh. Not clear there for the 27 as he was coming up and made contact with those drivers. And man, that is going to be heartbreaking for a couple of those guys. Durr had been up there running pretty solidly in the top 10 most of the night. And, well, he's going to have a beat-up race car to contend with now. Meanwhile, Joey Jatina is going to have to hang on to another lead and another caution and another restart. Does he take the outside? Does he take the inside? What can the 36 get done? We're going to head to NASCAR overtime here in just a moment. You're watching Turn 1. NASCAR overtime coming to you live here at EchoPark. And let me tell you something. I don't ever really look at this too much, but I was actually doing some clicking over here on the old YouTube. We are one sub away from 300. And first of all, that's insane to me. That I think we're over 500 on Facebook, 300 on YouTube. Incredible. And again, thank you all for being here on a Thursday night, spending your precious time with somebody like me and this NC811 Limited Series group here. Joey Jettina, Stephen Luttrell, Michael Saylor, Alex Grog, Shannon Wood, your top 5. Wood, I have it a good authority. You've got to put it through the floorboard, through the carburetor, is what I'm being told. So we'll see what happens as we get ready to go NASCAR overtime. Green-white checkered finish attempt number 1. They're going to see the green flag right here. If they survive all the way back around to the white flag, then it's on into the checker. We would see the caution come out if they were to have an incident on track before they see the white flag as Jettina gets them rolling. Luttrell did not have a great restart, but that's going to put the 14 car out the front pretty far. Will these guys get a run and get by him? Here comes Michael Saylor. All over the bumper of the 14. Jettina moves up to block Saylor. Luttrell in line. He's going to move down to the bottom. Jettina's not going to be able to get down there in enough time to block him. Stephen Luttrell on the inside. He's got Shannon Wood on the push. The white flag is out one more time. Saylor's going to make it 3 wide. Here comes Alex Grog on the outside. Jettina out front. Stephen Luttrell behind him. Shannon Wood, they're wrecking in the back. It's going to be a race to the finish. Does anybody pop out alive? On the 14 car, it doesn't look like it. Joey Jettina's going to win at EchoPark. What a phenomenal finish. Stephen Luttrell's going to finish P2. Shannon Wood, P3. His fans are going to be excited about that one. Alex Grog, Glenn Campbell, Ron Holyfield. Joseph Grijalva's going to finish 7th. Brian Wortman, Scott Formosa, Trevor Martin, your top 10. I'm going to step aside for just a moment. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have some post-race coverage here on Turn 1. We're going to talk to our winner and Joey Jettina momentarily. Stay tuned. A wild night in the books here at EchoPark is getting ready to talk to our top 3 as Joey Jettina is going to take a slow one around Atlanta. Let me go back through the chat here because I think, who was it that said it? That if the 14 wins, he owes everybody in chat a drink. Let's see. Going up, man. There was so many folks in here tonight. That was so cool. Keep scrolling. Keep scrolling. Yep, I've really got to go far here tonight. There we go. Keep going. Somebody said, oh, there it was. yeah. I'm going to let him know that I had it on good authority in the chat that he's going to have to buy a round for everybody. So if you're still here, you can expect a gift from Joey Jettina. I'll be sure to it. Let's quickly grab our, well, you know what? Let's start with the driver who finished here third tonight, that was Shannon Wood. We'll grab the 2 car. Shannon, congratulations on a top 3. That 2 car looks so fast here tonight out front.
Yeah, it was real good. I kind of rode around, third, fourth, fifth most of the race, but it was a lot better that one lap I did lead out front in that clean air. It kind of shoved the nose coming off the corner there, but it was good. It was fast. I enjoyed that.
Shannon, we saw you here, like you said, right around that third, fourth area. Was that really your thought of coming in here to stay out of the drama, is just to hang up there with that front pack, or were you trying to get to a lead and just had a hard time getting the car up there?
No, I was just gonna ride. We kind of talked about it before the race, and I said if we can qualify up front, we're just gonna sit there and ride. So that's pretty much what we was gonna do, and try to make a shot for it at the end, kind of like Daytona or Talladega. But it is what it is. I'm happy with third.
A great points night here for the 2 of Shannon Wood. Shannon, congratulations on a strong finish here at Atlanta. We'll see you. Will we see you Sunday night at Daytona?
Oh yeah, we'll be there.
Shannon Wood here tonight, finishing third at Atlanta. Shannon, thanks for the time.
I appreciate it.
And with that, we will go ahead and grab the boss man, they call him around here, the Sim 500 parts. That's Joey Jatina. Joey, congratulations on the victory here tonight, my man. That 14 car looks strong.
Hey, we did it. Holy cow. Brian stole a little bit of our thunder there and took the pole from us, but I was surprised at that, to get outside pole, and then we led for so much, and then that late caution, I was really worried, to say the least. I had to make a few moves that probably weren't the best of moves, but we had to make them to get back to the lead.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looked like you had all the stops out there at the very end. That outside line looked like it was the place to be for you and a lot of these other drivers. What was the difference in running on that bottom versus that top line up here at the racetrack tonight?
Seems like everything right now. Talladega last night top of the track. It's like Talladega BR for the ones that ran NASCAR 3 days, but definitely here. I mean, just keep the momentum up, and obviously we were fine on the bottom. I was really concerned, as much as we led, the fuel was going to be my issue, but I told them I think I was 3 laps difference in my fuel versus theirs, like Shannon, my teammate, Shannon Wood, and I said, I don't know what's going to happen, and I don't want you to have to sacrifice the pit with me. So I said, let's just see how powerful the leader is, and I called out the pit. Everybody came with me. I couldn't believe it, so that helped us a lot there.
It certainly did. Joey, I think we've said this a couple different times here recently. You're finding pace in pretty much everything you're running across the Sim 500 organization, and it doesn't seem like it's slowing up right now. You've got it figured out.
No, I mean, joining up with Dirty Monkey with Mark and I'm going brain dead here right now, but all of our team, we just work so well together. Mark did a great job spotting for me tonight. Of course, Shannon, Shannon got out to the lead a little bit, and I'll be honest, I was being a little selfish tonight. I wanted to win this race as much as we had led, and I saw that outside coming, and I jumped up there to block the 80, and which pushed us by. But yeah, that's the main thing, is we're in the seat a lot more, and right now we're 5th in points in the Wednesday night premier truck series here at Sim 500. After 8 or 9 races. I mean, we were actually in the top 10 after missing a race. So the finishes are there. I mean, confidence that this series and others are giving me. That's why this series was created. I think Joe Hudson was kind of the pioneer to bring this to Sim 500. But that's the main goal, was to give guys like myself the confidence, because when you run with the premier level here at Sim 500, you get accustomed to driving as hard as you can to run 15th. So we didn't know how to win. We didn't know how to go up there and do these things that we're doing, that we're getting a chance to do now on Thursdays. So that's the difference, I feel like, for me. It's given me a taste. I'm not as nervous anymore when I'm in the front. Just the confidence. I think Tyler Dalton said that it's worth 2 tenths.
Well, I think you found it, my friend. Win number 4 on Thursday nights. Congratulations, and thanks for the time.
You're the best, brother. Have a great weekend. Thank you.
Absolutely. Joey Jatina, your winner here tonight at Atlanta. Let's grab the second place driver, Steven Luttrell, who, Steven, I tell you what, my man, if I would have rewound to 10, 15 laps ago, I thought you were in prime position to bring it home tonight. Walk me through your evening out front there, especially running near and around that 14 car.
Early on, we got a little bit of damage on that very first wreck, so we were able to come in and fix it, and We ended up cruising around there in second with, right behind the 14, got the 2 behind us, and it looked like we were all 3 of us were just kind of in cruise control there, and I didn't really want to push the issue, and didn't look like the 2 did either, so it was a nice comfortable race there for the first half of it. And yeah, that last yellow came out and kind of bunched everybody up and made me got me a little nervous there. I thought we were done for, and the 38 got behind me, and before that everybody kind of ditched me and went to the outside and left me hanging there on the inside. 38 came up, did a really good job pushing me back up front, and yeah, we got up there, had a lot of fun, but I coming to the end there, the last thing I wanted to do was wreck the 14 or cause an accident with anybody, so just kind of hang off the throttle just enough to keep giving him a push and keep everybody, everybody's momentum up and not push the issue and turn him. That was the last thing I wanted to do. I'm happy with second any day than wrecking somebody.
Yeah, I absolutely. I don't think I've ever seen, at least in my short time watching you run here, you've never putting anybody at risk, and you want to do it right. I saw you, you mentioned about lifting and trying to just get just enough of a run. How much here at Atlanta is this super speedway style racing just that, all about managing the run in the car?
Almost all of it. It's probably 5% tires and 95% setting up the draft and making sure you got momentum and you can set up the run and you got somebody behind you that's going to go with you. It's a lot of it.
Well, listen, what does this make this? Is this race number 3 for you right now? Is that right? Is that correct?
I think so. That sounds about right.
Yeah. So 3 top 10s, 2 top 5s, and a win, and those 3 races. So an impressive start, impressive run on Thursday nights with this group, and another top 3 here tonight. We appreciate the time. Congratulations on the run.
All right, thank you very much. It's kind of wild. I didn't expect to come in here and be running up front and especially getting a win. That was pretty cool. I got to thank my dad for being up on the box, my mom, my wife, and my family, you for putting on the broadcast, and everybody at Sim 500, everybody out there watching. Thanks.
Steven Luttrell finishes second here tonight at EchoPark, and we're going to wrap up a wild night of racing action up and down the board. By the way, Joey, if you're still watching, you owe everybody drinks. I forgot to mention it during the interview. We'll figure that out later. On behalf of the league admins, I'm Sean Fitz. We're going to get out of here. We'll see you Sunday night for Super Speedway action with the Jalou KC Select Series right here on Turn 1. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.